think I am streaming. Yeah, I think I'm streaming. But yeah, no, it's a prime example of like political bullshit that gets in the way of decision making and
I just,
efficiency. You
I
know,
guess my point is, I think you just gave up on it. I think you gave up on it too soon because the little bit of pushback from Chris or whoever like wasn't community sentiment,
right?
and that's why I'm
Well,
excited
it
about it
sounded like it
because
was kind of sentiment, and then I don't know. People they kind of waffle on what they're saying.
yeah, that's possible too.
Let me make sure I'm live real quick. Yep, I think I am streaming live. I will get the live stream shared. And then we can kind of open things up in a minute. Get this thing out on Twitter too, I think.
I got shook out of one of my positions by
Oh no.
like 10 cents yesterday, and I still like made some money, but I'm sad about waking up to this much of a spike after that like small amount of setback.
Yeah, that's where I'm all about like having low leverage.
Yeah, that's why you were right.
It's like low leverage. Yeah, because you get shook out of those positions when it spikes down. At the end of the day, though, you gotta kind of learn.
Yeah, no, it's a lesson for me, and I'm not playing with an amount that's like truly material versus like my core holdings.
Right.
So yeah, it is what it is, but it's interesting to go through it.
All right. Let me see. Let me get back on. Okay. Kind of get started here. And I know, if I'm not mistaken, I do have a spot for Aramid here updates, and I know you're not on the team anymore. So at some point we can have Ludo come up and give some Aramid updates. But yeah, we'll give it one more second here, one more minute, not even a minute. I'm just gonna post this live out on X, and all right, let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, opening remarks. It's been another really productive week. All things are firing at this point on all cylinders. Super excited about all the progress that's been made throughout the community, and all the council applications that have come in, the council elections, and upcoming candidate pitches. So we'll talk a little bit about that too in a minute. But all things are good, and I'm super excited to keep grinding away on the Voiager committee here and keep grinding away on Void Network. There's a lot of really fun and innovative things happening here, and a lot of different updates to be shared as well. So I don't know if Shelly wants to come up and chat for a quick second about the builders meeting. I did sit in and listen to it this morning. I was kind of like half awake, still lying in bed. 6 a.m. for us West Coasters, so it's tough for me to be fully awake. But I was listening in, and it sounded like there had been, and I kind of already know what's going on a little bit, at least with how closely, we're working together here with Shelly on things. But yeah, it sounded like a lot of different ideas were floated around for subdomains for House of Voy. I know the subdomains, and I don't want to steal any thunder away from the Envoy update, but subdomains are out. There's been some updates to Envoy as well. I know that was a main focus of conversation. There's a good talk about bridging as well, and different ways to do bridging. It sounds to me like there may be some competition for Aramid on the horizon. And that may come in one form or several forms. There was also an announcement, from Algorand about another bridge solution that has been introduced into the mix, which I think is All Bridge or something like that. I haven't done a ton of research into it to see exactly what they're doing over there. But, I think overall it's important to keep top of mind that there needs to be probably some more on and off ramp solutions than just Aramid at the moment, given all the trouble with getting soldiers and getting funds unstuck and all that fun stuff. So I know that Ludo was on earlier talking about setting up Kubernetes and getting some of that documentation out to some more folks too. So maybe he'll talk about that during the Aramid update. But at any rate, we are moving forward, onward and upward. So excited about that, and looking forward to kind of jumping in here. So we can give a quick little update on Dorkfi as well. I know that we are in the very final stretch, maybe a few days or so, with the audit. It's been going on for quite some time now, and I know that Shelly's been hard at work on multiple different projects, and so I'm excited for that to come out. Another thing that I had been working on last week and kind of early this week was getting an analytics page spun up with some good information for folks who are playing around with the markets and wanting to keep an eye on some of the analytics for the platform and the broader ecosystem. I know we've talked also about potentially introducing a couple of other features, but first things first, we got to get the audit finalized, connecting that front end and back end, and then we're close to getting a testnet beta test version out there for folks to kind of bang around on. Haruf, let's get together after this meeting and go through some of the UX on that, because I know that's top of mind for me. I've been working on the front end design for the health and portfolio page as well, and I think it'd be good to get your feedback on how things look and if we want to make any adjustments. I think now would be a good time to at least get those ideas out there, and we can push those updates before we start to connect the lending contracts to and the liquidation engine all to the front end there. So I don't know if you have anything else you want to kind of touch on from the DorkFi side of things.
No, that was on my list today to get with you and try to do some of that stuff. I'm looking forward to
Sweet.
trying to fine tune it a little bit.
Yeah, awesome. Let's sync up right after this meeting, and then I know there's a couple of other things that I'll talk about as well. I'm adding you, Chris, an update to the agenda for HOV, but yeah, we've got Aramid. I know there's obviously some news there that Haruf, you've taken a step back from the Aramid team. Is that right? That's at least an announcement that we could probably make. And then if Ludo wants to come up and chat at all, he's welcome to as well.
Yeah, sure. My position is basically that I wish him the best, but like my position within the organization was not going to be something that I could support because if the whole goal is to make the community more educated and also feel better about how the bridge is going, and we've got tickets that don't get solved for 2 weeks, and it's material amounts of money for the individuals who are bridging. And there's no communication, and there's no meeting time set to discuss it, and there's still functionality on the bridge that just doesn't work and has never been tested, such as whole swaths of base. A lot of the base functionality, in my opinion, should just be disconnected at this point. They shouldn't allow USDC bridging to base if it doesn't work. Stuff like that. Like it did ground me enough that I decided that it was time to step back. And I wish them the best. I know that they have some pretty lofty goals, but I think that the core thing about Aramid is that they need to be trusted by the community. And I don't think that they're trusted by the community right now. I think that people use the bridge because it's a requirement, and every time they do, they worry that their transaction's going to get stuck, and it's not a good place to be.
Hello.
Hey.
So the most transactions at the bridge are passing, by the way. So we don't need to spread the panic here. And the root cause basically of this issue is that I am the builder. Basically, I built like 95% of the Aramid, and basically the decentralization of Valder was supposed to take care for the ticket, and somehow Valder kind of was or I don't know how to tell it politely, but
you can be
let's say
you can be straightforward. It doesn't matter. This is an open space, and
like he tried to persuade, I think, also on the Twitter that I should be doing like everything. So I hope that Valder with Daniel will solve a lot of issues there and direct the devs development like where basically it needs to be. But Valder basically turned off his soldier node like more than 1 month ago, and today he told us that he's completely removing his Kubernetes cluster. So perhaps the news here is that we are looking for some trusted soldier that is technically understanding and for example, I prefer to run the things in Kubernetes, and so we have, for example, Helm charts for the nodes and basically everything. And yeah, so we are going forward. Nothing is shutting down, and it will just mean that I will have to more focus on some failed transaction if they occur. Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
it.
and I have also some other news. For example, AVM Satoshi Dice is now translated to like 10 languages. And also the ASA Gold project is now translated to like 10 languages. And also the Algorand scan is being translated and quite improved. And in 2 weeks, let's meet at Wrocław at the conference if anybody wants to go to Poland.
Sweet. Thank you for the update. Appreciate it.
I'm a ways away from Poland, or else I'd go.
Yeah. What was the dates on it again?
Are you swinging over there, Bagman?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Probably.
It's on
not.
11 on Saturday.
Oh,
Next
okay.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Quick, get your tickets.
Yeah, it's a lot for just one day, you know.
Yeah.
Do you have Ludo?
guys,
Do you have room for?
Ludo.
Do you have room to board a soldier? Can I get some room and board?
Yeah, I plan to come on Friday and leave on Sunday. So,
I'm just joking with you, man. I'm joking with you. Yeah.
So one of the things though, Ludo, about the transactions not going through is that I don't think anybody thinks that no transactions are working, or else they really lose their shits. But when it's a common thing, when it's like you're rolling the dice when doing the transactions, so people are timid to actually use it at all. So one would probably be okay because you need to fix it, but when there's like what 3, 4, 5 of it happen quite a bit, people are just really not they're timid about using the product.
well, I understand the architecture is made so if every soldier runs properly, or not even every, like it should cover the cases, or basically it covers the cases when only 2 soldiers basically run correctly, then all transactions should pass. So there may be some, I don't know, some other issues, or
Yeah, because I mean right now it's
or perhaps if people miss the transaction when they send it to the bridge, like for example they do like direct node modification or whatever, then this transaction will fail, right? And we have to take care of it somehow.
yeah, I don't think many people are doing anything beyond just using the interface. But I could be wrong there.
Cool. Chris, since you're up here, we got House of Void update on the docket here. What do you got? What do you got for us?
2 of the 3 investors have approved the contract, waiting for the third one to approve it for the investment, which is great.
Fantastic.
The third one has been dragging their feet, and it's the worst, but dealing with that. which is good. We're right now I'm putting in a lot of thought and effort into the referral system, how that'll work. Right now, where my mindset is because we're not ready for like a full open referral. It's going to be we're going to give all of the existing players 5 referrals to give out, so that they will have to decide who they want to give them to and who not, and not just spray and pray. And to keep it kind of exclusive still, and then trying to figure out exactly what the bonus will be for the people that you bring in, but we'll figure that out soon. Our main goal is what I call the next transactions or the next traction spike. This is the next event that we do. One of the things that I'm kicking around is inviting Zarmian out here to Puerto Rico with me, potentially Shelly as well, and then we just spend like 4 days just building and launching the next machine. The next machine has progressive jackpots, free play, and it's a completely different type of machine, and then make that so it can work with any type of token. And so the idea there would be that it's a much more fun game. Also, the ability to play with different currencies, USD, Voi, potentially unit, if you guys ever actually get back to me about talking. But yeah, so we really want to actually make a big traction spike. So my goal is to actually be able to show double, 100% growth between previous and now.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what we're looking at right now.
Fantastic. Awesome. It all sounds super progressive. I'm excited to see, what kind of shakes out from that. As I mentioned in the council meeting, I shared it with a normie friend of mine's girlfriend who's all about the, Candy Crush and the bingo and the games, and got it on her phone through the PWA there. So I think that's awesome. And she gave some feedback too, just mostly around like interface stuff.
Yeah, interface stuff is irrelevant at this point because
totally
it's only a few functional. It's a functional thing. When we get the investment in, my plan is to actually get a real interface done, and so that's actually like has like animations and everything that's people like. So
yeah, makes sense.
At that point, yes, critique the hell out of the
totally.
It'll be the same.
That's what I figured at any rate. I know that it's every day you guys are making different updates and changes and whatnot, and mostly dialing in the back end than anything else.
Right. Yeah, it's all about the back end and wanting to lock down the referral system, how that actually works, at least in the short term, and getting this new machine out that has the ability to give people free plays. Because right now you can't give people free plays, so
right.
Being able to do that it opens us up a lot to reward people for doing things.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think one of the things I learned from this first machine is that setting it at 95% RTP as like just base mechanics gives us very little room to do anything as far as incentives. So I think probably the next machine is going to have a lower RTP, probably close to like 92%, 91%, and then we backfill the 3 to 4% extra with free plays and other just incentives. So that's we can actually do it, because if we start giving free plays at a 95% RTP, it'll be a losing machine for the house. So it's like we want to keep it at the 95%, but give those extra incentives through extra bonuses for like probably the whale players.
Chris, your stomach is growling, man.
I mean, these this is the period where the puppies like to play with each other.
I know. I'm just kidding. Tell us about the subdomains.
So subdomains are working well. Anybody that's put in over 100,000 VOI into the machines, I'm giving it a free subdomain.
I guess I need to
One
claim
of the things
mine.
that's, yeah, I mean, if you've done 100,000 VOI, just let me know. The thing that I really want to do, we haven't figured out yet, is figure out how to tie multiple wallets to the same envoy in a easy way, because people, there's some people that have 3 different accounts they're spending on, one on their phone, one on their laptop, and one on their work computer, which is crazy to me, but whatever. And so being able to tie all of them into the same subdomain rather than giving each one its own individual one. And the other thing is figuring out how to tie achievements to the subdomain as well. So you can, and I think that's probably the direction that we're going to go, is by tying it to the actual achievements to the subdomain itself. So that way, if you do transfer your subdomain to a different account, the achievements come with. So that's kind of the idea.
That makes sense. And I know, those subdomains are somewhat new. I know the functionality had been there for some time, but you needed, a little bit of knowledge and technical ability to actually get them going, if I'm not mistaken. And
That is.
yeah, let's see if Shelly, do you want to come up and give a quick Envoy update? Sweet. Thanks. The man, the myth, the legend, the workaholic.
Yeah. So updates on, I think over the past week, the access to subdomains has been limited to like just some that I created initially to test out the subdomain like sale, like distribution, and just the user flow. But there were only 2, but now you can set a like anyone with a .voy name can distribute like a subname to any address. So Bagman, like I've seen some people start to use them now. Bogemeister, what he did was he made a subdomain like node.bogemeister.voy, and he set it up to where it would show up that way in his on the Voy rewards page. But so we have that functionality now, and there's also some other functionality which would allow you to do to have the underlying contract distribute the tokens automatically via sales. Still looking at figuring out if there's even interest in doing that, but if there is, we might like tack it into the roadmap. But yeah, I think we have some ideas from Chris how he wants his subdomains to work for House of Voy, and that's still something in development. Recent update for Envoy was
The bios, the background, right? Connecting Twitter, all the GitHub.
Oh yeah, there are like special, like, so some of the subdomains there are like specific ways to get them. It's kind of like questing. So there are ways to get x.voy subdomain if you set up your profile for Twitter following the directions. there's a way to do it. So there, to verify your Twitter, if you do that, you're eligible for a x.voy name which matches your Twitter account. So Haruf's Twitter account is Create. I think is that how you say it, Haruf? Okay. If he goes through the steps, he'll get create.x.voy, and that's.
I believe it's Krahate.
Krahate.
Yeah, that one's funny because it's a very old, kind of legacy name for me, and I just don't feel like I need to switch it. I just leave it alone because it's got all the backlinks and shit already there. So yeah, it's gonna just stay there.
And there are a lot of different ways to get these subdomains, and I think you can be really creative about it, right? And have different barriers of entry. There's one called oev.voy, so you can be Helen of Voy if you wanted to. If you made the requirements. And that one is if you have an envoy name of 10 years, you can get it. And so just coming up with different ideas on using that to kind of raise awareness that you can play with subdomains now. And then another nice thing that kind of quality of life improvement that we got earlier this week was a Loot integration for Envoy. So previously, you would if you ever used Loot, you'd have to go in there and you'd have to go give every that your address is bagman.voy. You'd have to go and nickname it. So now you don't have to do that. They just auto populate and they also show up in this transaction view in different places, sending assets and all the basic features, and I think recently a lot of us had to got familiar with Loot, so I'm glad that it's you can use Envoy in there now. And if also it's open for feedback and changes if Funk agrees to them. So if anyone uses the Loot with the Envoy integration and they have some feedback, kind of let us know, and we can tell him, there are people, they're Envoy holders with this request. Can you do it? It's really close to the time where we got the integration, so I think there might be room to squeeze in other features or feedback.
How about actually put in ARC200 and tokens and transfer those?
Yeah. I think we're in a sweet spot right now because we're moving, right? So I'm gonna work that in.
I mean, it's it should be really easy for them to implement now that Zarmian is built into the Voy wallet. It should be a simple API call. The biggest issue is actually building the transfer transactions, but it's been done enough times between you and him that it should be pretty easy to pass over Funk, the actual function.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him. That's my number one thing I want in Loot, man. Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, just showing up. So one of the things that Haruf said the other day, which annoyed me, not because he said it, but because it's not a real thing, is that you don't see a token or an ARC200 token when it's sent to you. That's literally only because the walls haven't implemented it. If you receive an ARC200, there's an event that is okay, you received a new ARC200, and it's just that Kinesis is set up to opt in, meaning that it won't show anything unless it's actually you say, I want to look at it. But the opposite could 100% be where it shows you everything, but you can remove tokens that you don't want to see. So it's like ARC 200 is not, it performs just as well, if not better, than the standard assets, and doesn't have many of the limitations. It's just going to take time for the wallets to actually implement the things.
That makes sense. Sweet. Thank you for the update, Shelly. Appreciate it. Haruf, you want to talk about Twitter account? Is there anything to update there?
No, not really. I mean, I honestly haven't posted recently. I know that it's not just me on there. There's like, I guess 5 different people who could be posting on there.
I demand to speak to a manager.
But yeah, it hasn't been me posting, so I'll take the credit for doing nothing on it this week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, you know, if someone like a Coop type wants to come in and tell a story and, you know, do some storyboarding stuff around it. I think that'd be interesting, speaking as a community member.
So you've talked about Coop doing this for a few weeks now. Was that a drunken comment from Coop?
No.
That he wanted to do it before?
No,
He pursued it?
Yeah, he was in my DMs about it.
Okay.
So he's very interested, actually, and would love to re-engage. What I had mentioned to him was that we're, you know, in the process of doing council elections, and we probably wouldn't go through a evaluation process for him until the next council. So, but it's something that he's certainly interested in, and you know, we can absolutely re-engage with him about that for sure. And I think he'd do a great job. Honestly, he had some really good ideas. He came in here, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, maybe at this point, and he was, you know, kind of giving a little bit of a pitch on some of the ideas that he had, and I thought they were progressive and would be really good. So, you know, just throwing that out there.
Now that we have the names of all the people who are likely candidates, and if we have the deadline passed for getting their envoys and stuff set up,
Yep.
maybe I can get the final list and we can post those from the main account.
Yep, absolutely.
And then if we have like an update on when we're going to have some kind of an opportunity for those people to kind of talk about themselves in a space or whatever, we can post that. Like that's good stuff that could come from the main account here this week.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's a great segue because we do have the council applications have closed. That's the next agenda item. Yeah, so the applications, there were 9 applicants, and out of the 9, there were 7 that actually ended up qualifying and following up. So they have been engaging in a Twitter group chat at the moment, where I've reached out actually just before this meeting to figure out when folks are available to do a pitch, whether it's later this afternoon for a little bit or tomorrow or Friday. I think Friday's always good. I was originally thinking about trying to do something before Peña's space on Friday. I know that Thorpe was mentioning that it might be challenging during his regular work day, but over the weekend he'd be available to do something. And I think I mentioned if we needed to split it into like 2, it would make sense, because there are a lot of candidates, and if we could get like 3 and 4 set up in kind of 2 different spaces, that would make sense to me. The way that I'm thinking about running it is, recorded space, just kind of set the stage, outline everything, and then give each of the candidates like 2 to 3 minutes to give an elevator pitch, do an intro for themselves, do a quick elevator pitch on why they think they'd be good, and then go around again, have each candidate just talk about one topic for either improvement or things that they appreciated and wanted to maintain status quo on, and then have an open discussion about each of those topics. Pick the most interesting one that everybody wants to kind of chat about, and kind of let loose with an open discussion, and have some community members come up and ask questions of the candidates. So I think if we had all 7 in there, it would probably fill up all the speaker positions, and it would be nice to have opportunity for community folks to come up and kind of ask some different questions. So it might make the most sense to split it into 2 if we wanted. But yeah, Haruf, if you don't mind, whenever you have a chance, just replying, and you may have already replied in that group message with your kind of availability and preferences, and then we can get something going and get it shared out through the main accounts. I can schedule a space, and we can even do it hosted through the main Voy account if we wanted to as well. That would make sense to me. So it's all the things are on the table, but just to kind of list out the folks that qualified, submitted applications, qualified, and are in the queue for the voting platform. It's Haruf, and I'm speaking off the top of my head, Haruf, Yeo, Bogan, Scotchka, Nuss, Thorpe, and OX Comms. Did I miss anyone? I don't think so. I think that's all 7, yeah. Okay, cool. All super strong candidates, in my opinion, folks that have been in the space, since the beginning, and have provided some extremely good feedback, and bring different perspectives to the table here. So I'm excited about it. And the other thing that is worth mentioning, if all things are on schedule still, voting will open up today. And we may, I don't know, do we need to push a day or something, Shelly, or how are we doing?
You said Nuss too, right?
I did say Nuss, yep.
No, we're ready to go. I'm gonna go work on something else.
Okay, sounds good. Sweet. Yeah, so once it's all live, we can kind of get the links out and get it shared out. Personally, I'm gonna recommend folks at least listen to some of these pitches and make decisions and vote after. But obviously the floodgates will be open, and the opportunity to vote before listening to those things will be there. So yeah, it's once again, it's a good opportunity for us. And what's that?
In the system that Shelley's created, can you change your vote after you voted?
I believe so. Can you change your vote, Shelley, within the allotted time?
No, I think we had this conversation yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
No, you can't change your vote. Go buy some more Voy. Go
That's
vote
right.
again.
That's right. Yes. It makes sense. It's a good... Chris, you're on mute.
I was saying, buy double the amount of Voy to cancel out your previous vote, and then vote where you really want to do.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. New wallet too. So yeah, once again, this is like the simplest version of on-chain governance voting. Lots of opportunity for improvement moving forward for next council and future elections and future voting. But for now, this is what we're working with. So it's a step in the right direction, and I'm excited to be pushing forward with it all. Cool. Open discussion stuff. I wanted to make a I guess it's kind of an announcement, but it's following up on an action item from last week. We've got a BITL intake form that I put together here, and for anybody who's live streaming, you're looking at it right now. It's linked in the agenda, and I'll share the link as well. We'll get this link out too. So this is really for anybody who wants to recommend any new features or report any feature bugs. And all we're looking for is a detailed description, a screenshot, and then if you have an envoy.voy name, provide that as well, so we can kind of keep track of the folks that are submitting these different requests. And I think it's a step in the right direction for us getting some more feedback, and then getting some more bounties on the BITL board. As I've got some more time, taking a kind of step back from the council, I'll be putting some more time into doing some fun things with BITL and improving this process, and really documenting it out. I think it's an underutilized tool and platform for everyone. So yeah, go check it out if you've got an opportunity to. All right, let's go back to the agenda here. News feeds. That was also an action item. I didn't make any progress on news feeds. I'm not sure how we want to go and manage it. Open discussion here. Do you think it's worth setting up another channel for the news feed? How do we want to do this, guys? I feel like it's been talked about a lot and dragged on for quite some time, and we haven't come up with a solid solution for it either. But it's worth driving forward. I think it would help a lot with Twitter communication and with broader communication too. It's just trying to figure out who's the arbiter of what is newsworthy and not. Any ideas? Crickets?
I don't have a strong opinion.
Okay. Seems like nobody else up here has a strong opinion either. Okay, well, we'll keep thinking about it. I'll get some other ideas out here and truck away. ETH Denver, this is a rollover. I like having it open discussion. We can keep talking about it. I know that we're now into October, and at least the ETH Denver folks are the early bird special, if you will, for getting a sponsorship booth there is coming to a close on the 15th. Speaking engagements, all that stuff's closing, or at least early bird is closing on the 15th. But yeah, I think at least from a Dorkfy perspective, we are not going to go for a booth, and I think it would make a ton of sense though for us to do some sort of party or get together or hacking day, or I don't know, something. So yeah, just wanted to keep it top of mind here as well.
I plan on going still.
Fantastic.
And I'll probably try to reserve at least say $5,000 from House of Void for whatever to throw at Ethanburg. I want to do it old school style where we're not like sponsoring something, but we're just like doing something cool,
Yeah,
whatever that is.
that sounds like fun. Yeah, we'll have to talk
So,
about that
so
in
hopefully
our
Dark Fi will match the 5K.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in our partnership
You
meeting.
give it off casino money.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
there was a discussion last night about utilizing funds for hookers and blow instead of booths. I told them that was unlikely, but it's never impossible.
I mean, I think a lot of things would have to happen for me to sign off on that one.
It is the Mile High City, right? You know. Sorry, I had to throw the pun out there.
That's a horrible pun.
Yeah,
And you do like to shred powder, so
yeah, that too. You know, snowboarding, guys, snowboarding, not skiing. Anyways, deck screener. I need to check and see if there's been any responses from the deck screener folks. The last call to action on that was for folks to go in and make some comments on adding deck screener support for PactFi, and then also adding some comments for Void Network. I know that it kind of comes. There's some more work that needs to be done there. That was pointed out by Ludo and Shelly as well. But yeah, I'll need to kind of check in on that. Hopefully, you guys have gone in and made some comments there. Cool. Any other kind of open discussion things? We've got about 10 minutes left. I know we started, about five after the hour, so we'll run until then if we've got some things we want to talk about. You guys good?
Keep fighting the fight. Good fight.
Yeah.
So what do you think about timeline for releasing the web page for the election?
We could do it whenever,
Did we already
right?
do that?
Yeah. Should we do it at noon?
Oh yeah, that's right. We were thinking noon. So all right, you know what it is, right?
Yeah, noon, and I can spin up a little space. Maybe we can get some of the candidates in there to chat, and if not, we'll I'll check my group chat there and Twitter to see what everybody else's availability is. But yeah, we can get it going and get people to start voting. There's a leaderboard, and I think that Yayo is number 1 right now.
Yeah, I did that one thing while I was testing. I did a vote on top, I did a vote on the bottom, and I made sure that they were like, I wasn't like leaning it over, but it works, man.
Yeah. Anyways, cool. Let's push it out at noon, and then just Shelly shoot me and Haruf the link to it. Chris, are you getting all your wallets ready?
I don't have any Voy. like all of my Voy is completely locked up except for the Voy that's in the house. Like you all have way more Voy than I do.
Yeah.
That
I'll
you
give
can
you
actually
a-
use to vote.
I'll give you a loan if I can get your vote.
I feel like that's fair.
I'll give you 50,000, but when we're done with the vote, I need 69,000 because there's going to be interest.
Yeah. I appreciate the offer.
Yeah.
But yes, so I have no say in this election. May the best person win.
Sounds good.
I think actually, like Block Authority doesn't actually, because everybody in the Block Authority has their tokens locked as well.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna run my whole campaign on being somebody who can't be controlled by Chris Schrader.
It would work. Apparently, that people think I'm a very controlling person.
You might even get some Algorand people to buy Voy and vote. Yeah.
You should run on like kicking me out of the network. That's what you should run.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I was-
I don't know
I
what
was-
what that it means, but
I was thinking just like, making sure that Chris can't be a dictator on our chain,
Yeah.
and like and highlighting the fact that I'll make sure that basically like it's been so far, your vote counts just as much as anybody else's, and that whole thing. But from the outside perspective, people will be like, hell fucking yeah, we don't want a dictator in this thing,
yeah. And maybe you know what? I can take it. If this will help and grow things, it won't break my heart.
I got you, sir.
We're kicking you to the app,
cool-
to the app layer. No more
The
infra.
cool thing is like I can actually like pay less and less attention to things and frees up my time to do other things. It's great. Not doing the council like yesterday. I not doing the council meeting. I was like, this is amazing. I don't have to think about anything anymore. Great.
I recommend playing dog. That's a great use of time. So keep doing it.
So Chris, what's the threshold for me to get a House of Voice subdomain?
100,000 volume.
So that's
100,000 USD.
100,000
No,
wage
100,000
total
void-
waged
void-
or total spins?
Yeah.
Total waged.
50 spins
Yeah.
on MacBet. What a pushover.
Okay, yeah.
What a piece of
Pretty
shit.
I'm gonna be
What
sending
a
you
piece of shit reward.
my address here because I've got almost 250,000 total waged.
Yeah.
I should
talking
increase it
about-
to a million because 100,000 is easy.
I am number 6 on the leaderboard right now.
Talking about like features that you have on a new feature on Envoy is like how you have your name, it's all like lowercase. Now you can mix and match the caps of your name, so like you can make H capital and then B and make it I guess customize that part. But yeah, when you get your House of Voice sub name Bagman, you can do that.
What do you want your domain to be?
Oh, just bagman at .hov.boy.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Haven't done it yet. I gotta navigate this Envoy website that works some of the times.
Whoa. Most of the Envoy names are going through, Chris.
They are good. All right. So we want Bagman to this address.
I did some work over the weekend, and now Chris doesn't have to go into his terminal and sign the transactions manually.
That's true.
I had a nice big win here during the meeting. It was like a 11,000
Oh, you're
boy.
spinning?
Oh yeah,
You're
just
spinning?
auto spin.
Chris
Just decide to do
Chris
it.
is doing that. He doesn't have any void.
Yes, I do not have any boy.
I guess I need to win another about 40,000 to be able to vote with this wallet, and then I'm gonna drain my House of Voy account and have to
Do
win
it.
it all back.
Don't do it.
Shelly, can we have write-in candidates? I was thinking about writing in Bagman for council.
Please don't.
Yeah, I think it's up to Bagman, but I was thinking about that yesterday. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's just a name, right? So like when we got our candidate list in, like all I needed was a bunch of names, and then everything populated in the app. Yeah, that would maybe that's like a future Voi election thing. Write in candidates, right?
You get people voting for Satoshi Nakamoto, Satoshi Nakamoto, and then what? Chris, you made the joke. Sriss Krenner, right? You know, we'll get that one going. And
Swiss Krenner.
Yeah.
He's gonna run for.
It's got
run for everything.
your beard up here, and like clean shaven down here. Oh man. Well, hey, this has been a great meeting so far. One of the things that I'd like to do in the future too is focus a lot more on some of the marketing visibility side of things. I do like having these types of updates and kind of going through it, but also would like to have more action items around that type of thing moving forward. And part of that is getting a news feed up and making sure everybody's out there talking about the news feed. So some work to be done. What's that, Chris? Are you talking to the dogs or are you talking to me?
It's like, que bueno.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. If you got anything else, let me know. If not, we'll adjourn the meeting.
I don't know if you know, but I live in Puerto Rico now.
He speaks the language.
Spanish is a thing.
Spanglish.
How do the ladies find your tongue in Puerto Rico now?
That's a very intense question.
Yeah, it wants to know if you're a fan of Bad Bunny now. For swag down there,
I would say
it's Arc 200.
Yeah, I think you have to be. He's not a fan of me, but like, yeah, I enjoy him. He's good to actually go out, dance to.
He's good. He's going to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
True.
Yeah. I make fun of him because he just like he grunts a lot. Like, that's how it works.
Oh my God! Anybody who's watching this live stream is getting the Bad Bunny dance here.
Yeah. I just heard from the third investor, and he said everything's good to go. But
you tell him it better be.
I mean, my message was very similar.
Yeah. What's
time?
What's being asked in chat here, Shaggy?
Shaggy Rex is asking. Oh, he wants to ask himself, I guess.
Oh snap! Bang bang! What's up, gentlemen?
What's happening?
I actually wanted to ask a handful of questions, prefacing this with I have a reason. Okay, so I got a reason. Me and my guys, we do a lot of work on Cardano, some EVM chains. We wrote the music protocol for Cardano. I need to know a few things first before I know if this is something like we have the capabilities to do on Void. First would be, what metadata format do you guys use for your tokens? Is it a 721 format like EVM style stuff, or is this a different JSON script? Is it not JSON? That matters. And then stuff like line size limitation. I got a few like techie questions, and then node level stuff because we operate nodes. So if this is something we can do, we would just run our own Void node, build out the test network, you know what I'm saying, the test space, and then like play around with the protocol level stuff. But we wrote the music protocol for Cardano, and we're writing a few others for different chains. The goal is interoperability between these standards because music already has like an internationally accepted set of royalty codes and everything. So there's like a pretty clear use case for blockchain and an international set of data standards that we can just bring on chain with all the relevant metadata fields and key points. But things like line size, right? So on Cardano, we're limited to like, I want to say 16 or 14 kilobytes in a token, and then the line size limit is like 60 something characters per line. Tough to squeeze the amount of metadata for all the release fields into one token, right? Then Cardano's got this expense problem with like the minimum UTXO bound to any tokens, right? And there's like a gas fee level to it. It's getting kind of expensive.
Cardano is very difficult. You won't run into any of those like cost things on Voy. I would say that's I believe when we originally did the what's called the ARC-72, which is the equivalent to ERC-721, we did our best to actually copy the ERC-721 spec exactly. It doesn't work. I mean, it's not the same language. It's not Solidity. It's its own language. But as far as actually the JSON and everything is concerned, it should be the same. Shelly, can you please confirm that? You're muted.
Yeah. So like, it's pretty much more or less our ERC 721 with one of the methods removed. It was I forgot what the method was, but it has a pointer to a external URI, so a metadata URI, and with that said, you pretty much store whatever you want there. There's the format. There is a specific, let's see, JSON metadata file schema ARC3. So you have different specs for like the like this is just for NFTs, right? So you would have to see if it's like you can fit whatever you're trying to store into this format. So you have there are specific specs for NFT metadata, and also the for traits. So maybe that's not something you're looking into. But I would start at reading about the ARC-72 spec.
Let me just make it a little bit easier for you. Like I said, Shelly said read the spec, but if you have any specific questions, we can answer really quickly. And I don't know where you are in the world, but Wednesday mornings is the builder call, where the builders get together and talk about what we're working on and making sure that we're not overlapping or doing anything that somebody else has already done. But yeah, it's I would say that the biggest hurdles that they'll run into is not really like the format of the data on chain, but more so how to interact with on-chain contracts, because there is a different way of doing it than other chains. Luckily, Shelly's actually built libraries to make it a lot easier, but we can actually help with that too.
So long-term goals right now is to just get it to the point where our ecosystem has like what we did with SIP60, at least on Cardano. There's a lot of people making music tokens, right? And they were all doing it different ways. You can hashing, your music file into IPFS, etc., and then making that like visible through whatever parsing mechanisms. But what we did is we standardized it all under one metadata stack that covers all of the necessary royalty key points, the contributing artists, the copyright levels, ownership levels, whether or not it's AI generated or not. All these are like currently, I'm a music publisher. So like we do this anyways when you're publishing music. The blockchain ledger allows for the potential to circumvent the congressional copyright process, which is expensive, $75 per work registered. We have old school methods to circumvent that, like the poor man's copyright. Basically, we would mail ourselves a certified letter with whatever the work is, the material, and then just keep it in like a filing cabinet, closed. Because like if we go to court, that was time stamped by the government, boom, they can see, but an immutable ledger allows you to do the same thing much cheaper, right? So there's that use case, but then there's also later on automated royalty payment systems, which on Cardano is impossible because of the fee structure, and microtransactions won't work with it, right? So, big
Yeah,
picture.
it'll work fine on Voy. And so I personally also have some experience with this because I was consulting with another publisher that was trying to do a similar thing back like 2-3 years ago. So I get a lot of what you're trying to actually do with this, which I think is really awesome. And yeah, happily give you advice and point you in the right direction with everything.
I'll definitely check this out. Thank you, guys.
I mean, the contract limitations that you're run into is sometimes there's compute limits, but like one of the things that I'm working on is putting an entire casino on chain, not logging to the chain, but actually all randomness and all games, everything is actually on chain and it works. So it can handle a lot, but you just have to know what to actually do.
Appreciate it, guys. I'm passing this off to my dev team, and we're gonna take a look at this. But any links you guys want to provide me, toolkits, dev kits, dev docs, just ping them over to me. I'd be happy to explore it. One last question before I go. Void nodes. So in Cardano we use stake pools, right? What's the requirements for that? Are you guys still seeking new nodes? What's the recommended? Okay, go ahead.
It's a fully open, decentralized network. There's no benefit to run multiple nodes just because of how the actual consensus works. You just run a single node. It requires very little processing. You can get by with $60 a month machine somewhere, and not a lot of actually space. And all you do then is you stake your Voy on that node. And then there's block rewards, and so you would earn based off of how much stake you put on every single week.
So it's very similar to how the Cardano one works, I guess, in that regard when it comes to blocks favoring pools or nodes that have more stake, right?
Yeah, but it's but the thing is that it is random still, so it is still distributed pretty fairly. And we do actually have delegated stake, but it's delegated through smart contracts. So that's one of the differences between us and Cardano. You can do delegated stake. Shelly runs a couple. I mean, he spins up a new wrapped token pretty much every week that is that delegate stake. But the other really cool thing that I don't know if with your protocol if this is actually would help or not, but like for example with our casino is that we can actually all of the money that is in the house can actually also be staked online at the same time, which is a really cool thing. So yeah, it's I'd recommend here. Let me send you a link for this. You need to be technical to stand up a node.
Super simple.
We're pretty technical. Yeah. So we can handle it. But I guess I have one follow up. Just so you guys kind of get the bigger picture here. With the auto royalty payment concepts, it doesn't necessarily need to be implementable right away. This can be like a long-term scaling thing because it's going to be ridiculous amounts of contracts. And the steps we're taking to get there are actually not what most Web3 projects have done, which is like build out their royalty payment stuff in smart contracts on chain, right, as a separate thing. So they're earning the royalties from the Web2 industry and then converting that over to crypto, tokenizing it, and then paying people out like that. The entire music industry and streaming platforms, all of them, operate off of open source music APIs. Most people don't seem to think this angle, right? And I've never heard anyone else except for us try and tackle this. As a publisher, we use something called Music Brains API. It's where Spotify and all them pull their data from. It makes your music discoverable. So part of publishing isn't just, putting your music on DistroKid. You got to make sure it's discoverable on the different platforms. All that is metadata, right? Think instead of us bringing our stuff to Web2 industries, tokenizing it on chain, and then having like a separated music industry, the goal is integrating the ledgers with the Music Brains API directly, and they require certain things like fingerprinting. to make sure that's like, hey, your music is unique. Your music does meet the criteria to earn, and then it has all the key points for them to pay you your royalties. That can all be done by just integrating the blockchain ledgers directly with the MusicBrainz API. And that's the angle we're taking, right? So we want long term,
So
if you mint something on chain and you have all your publishing codes, you've registered it properly, you would never need to go to a distro, and they'd be able to discover your music, pay you out from it being on the ledger, because the ledger would then be interfacing directly with the open source MusicBrainz APIs. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, the other thing that I'd recommend you taking a look at is a thing that we have. It's called Mimr. It's a way to that. It's a very elegant way to actually that indexes Void, and you can actually run your own custom Mimr server that can listen to events and be able to all of the metadata, everything, to make it very fast and very quick as far as just access to the data. And let me see if I can find the link to Mimr.
Mimr is cool.
It's very cool.
I'm pinging these links over to our dev team as you speak, so keep sending them, guys. I really appreciate it, and sorry to derail the conversation, but
No, this is what the meeting's for.
No
some
problem.
governance stuff over there on Cardano, but yeah.
Yeah,
Found it.
I put another link in the voice chat. So like I maintain an open source smart contract library, and also have like this starter to where you can have tokens, and then also like this might be something down the road, but like the NFTs. So you can build on top of that. You don't have to build like the core implementation or like up to the spec, right? Maybe not something you need today, but maybe if you need it later. You could ask anyone here like questions, and maybe I could help out, a little bit more than telling you to go read something. But but yeah, how long have you, like, that name looks familiar, Shadrax? How long have you been how long have you been around?
So I actually was in Void testnet's super early phase. I was grinding, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually a board crepe holder. You know what I'm saying? I got my unit still. A little stack of that. Taco put me on like last year, maybe like last summer, and then through Taco, I think I met Cody. Cody's y'all's governance cat. We invited him to our governance workshop. I got to host one in Austin, Texas, as Cardano was putting together everything for the Cardano Constitution stuff. We got to show him what not to do with governance. So that was really fun. I've just been watching you guys on the side. I'm super deep in the weeds over there on the Cardano stuff, but I've been around in the Web3 ecosystem since I got out of prison about 4 years ago. I found crypto through a pen pal in prison, started taking Khan Academy courses on a tablet they issued me, bro, and then got out immediately, hooked up with the guys. We were already running a publishing company, so it just fit, Just
That's
fit.
really cool.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen you around in spaces with Mazza as well. Way back. I don't know, at least
Shout out to Mazza.
4 years or something. It's been a long time.
And you guys have done a great job. So keep it up. I'm about to hop up off here with all these resources you guys just handed us. I'll be in touch. You guys feel free to DM me anytime.
Sweet.
I work with a pretty small team.
Cool.
Fantastic.
All right, well, I'm going to jump off as well.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Great meeting. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
You too. Thanks.